Greetings to everyone. Today we are going to explore one of the most interesting branches of biology, which is genetics. Have you ever wondered why children resemble their parents, or why do siblings from the same family look different from each other? Or why do some individuals have curly hair while some other have straight hair? All of the answers lies in genetics. Genetics is the branch of biology that deals with heredity, the transmission of characters from parents to offsprings and variation, which also explains the differences among individuals. If we understand genetics, it will help us to explain how traits are inherited and which also forms the foundation of modern biology, medicine, and biotechnology. Now, by the end of the session, you will be able to understand the basic genetic terms. We are also going to perform monohybrid cross, and we are also going to understand the Mendel's three laws of inheritance. So, before diving deeper, let's begin with some basic and important terms. First important term is character. So, a character is something which is inheritable, or I can say, for example, height of a plant. This character is inheritable or can be passed down. Next, trait. A trait is actually a specific form of character. So, for height of a plant is a character, so the trait will be tallness or dwarfness, which is nothing but short height. So these are two traits for the character. Now, gene. Gene is nothing but the basic unit of heredity that controls a particular character. So now I can say this is my DNA. A specific part of a DNA codes for height of a plant. So specifically, let's say tallness. So this part will be gene coding for tallness. Next is allele. Now allele is nothing but different form, or I can say alternative form of a trait. For example, on the similar gene or DNA, there is similar type of gene which is coding for height of a plant, but alternative trait. As this part is coding for tallness, this will be coding for dwarfness. So that is allele, an alternative form of allele which gets expressed. Now, because there are alternative forms, there will be dominant and recessive alleles. So always there is one dominant copy and there is one recessive copy. So in this case, tallness is dominant and dwarfness is recessive. So what will happen is tallness can get expressed even if one copy is there, okay, but recessive dwarfness will need two copies to get expressed. We'll understand this a little better in the next few terms. Next is phenotype and genotype. Phenotype is nothing but observable or physical characteristics which are seen, for example, tallness. Genotype is actually the genetic constitution. So, for tallness, I need to show the genotype always in pairs. It is always in pairs. So capital T is tallness, capital T small t is also tallness. You know why? Because capital T, as we wrote here, is dominant. So tall is dominant. So because of that, we cannot say that this is intermediate or even dwarf. This will be always tall. Whereas this is coding for short, or this is expressed as short or dwarf. Why? Because it is recessive, and as we saw that recessive will require two copies to get expressed. So I hope dominant, recessive, phenotype, genotype is understood here. Now let's see homozygous and heterozygous. Homozygous means same form, or when the both alleles are same. So capital T, small t, these are homozygous. Heterozygous I can say to this, because one is capital T, one is the recessive allele. Now next is monohybrid and dihybrid. Now whenever we are doing a cross, so we are crossing over capital T into small t. This crossing over only has one character, so this will be called as monohybrid. Now if I also add one more character here, like let's say with height of plant I am adding color of flower. So now this will be called as dihybrid cross. I hope that we have understood these terms, and let's look at the scientist who has discovered all of this. The picture which you can see on the screen is Gregor Johann Mendel. He is known as the father of genetics. Why he is called as the father of genetics? Because between 1856 and 1863 he conducted experiments on garden pea. This is garden pea. This helped him to understand how traits are being passed from one generation to another. Now, he specifically selected pea plants because they were easy to cultivate, they also had a very shorter lifespan, and they produced many offsprings in which they showed several contrasting traits or characters such as tall, dwarf, round seeds, wrinkled seeds, and also they naturally self pollinate, but they can be also cross pollinated. So, that made pea plant as the ideal for controlled experiments. After carefully analyzing thousands of pea plants, Mendel proposed the fundamental laws of inheritance, which actually became the foundation of classical genetics. And that is the reason why he is also called as father of genetics. Now let us understand one of his simple experiments, which is monohybrid cross. So as we saw monohybrid cross, we are going to understand how inheritance of a single character is passed on. Okay, so tall and dwarf, this is a single character. Genotype capital T small t I've considered, so homozygous tall and homozygous short or dwarf. Now I have removed the gametes. This is going to only give me one capital T and this is going to give me one small t. Now F1. F1 means the first filial generation or the first generation after crossing over. So this is going to give me capital T, small t. As we understood previously that this is going to show tallness. Now because all the progeny is showing capital T small t, we are going to cross it with itself. So this is called as selfing. So what I'm doing, tall into tall, but pay attention, this is heterozygous tall. So genotype is capital T small t into capital T small t. Gametes which are formed are such, one here, one from here, one from here. Now for F2 generation, like I am going to again cross this, I need a Punnett square so that I can cross it properly. So here let's assume this is male gamete and let's assume this is female gamete. So we are just going to put that here. So let me draw, this is female gamete, this is male gamete, capital T small t for male, and for female again capital T small t. Now let's cross them over. So what you have to do, you have to just put the similar crossing like this, capital T small t, and this will show small t small t. Now after crossing over, let's look at the phenotypic ratio. Phenotypic, as we already saw, it is about the physical characters. So this is tall, this is tall, this is also tall, but this is dwarf. So I can say 3:1, that means tall is to dwarf is 3:1. Now for genotypic ratio, we have to see the gene constitution. So look at this, this is only 1, capital T is only 1, so I am writing 1, capital T small t is repeated twice, so 2, whereas small t is again repeated once. So I can call it 1:2:1. How? Capital T, then capital T small t, and then small t small t. So this is all about the monohybrid cross. Now let's understand Mendel's laws of inheritance. The first law is called as the law of dominance. It states that when two contrasting alleles or characters are present, dominant trait is always visible in the phenotype, and recessive are masked unless they are homozygous. So this is what we already saw, that if dominant trait is present with a recessive character, this is going to get masked. So only tall character is going to be expressed. But they are saying unless homozygous, that means small t will show dwarf. And that is what we saw earlier, that we need two copies to show the recessive character, right? So that is the first law of dominance, very simple. Second is law of segregation. So the second law of segregation, it states that the two alleles of a gene separate during gamete formation, so that each gamete carries only one allele. So now what that means is, capital T small t, if they are together while gamete formation, capital T will separate and small t will separate differently. They are not going to get fused, or one is not going to get influenced because of the other. Same is shown here. Capital B, small b, one capital B got very properly separated, and here also small b got properly separated without any fusion. So that is the second law of segregation. Then third law is the law of independent assortment. Now it states that alleles of different genes, they assort independently or separately during gamete formation. Now this is actually shown properly in a dihybrid cross. What this means is, see here they have taken two traits, but as you can see, this is round and this is yellow, but one doesn't has any effect on the other. Same way here, even if this is dominant and this is recessive, this doesn't has any effect on one another. Same way here, same way here. So that is what this law of independent assortment is all about, that two different genes assort independently during gamete formation, and there is no effect or there is no influence of one gene onto another. Now to summarize, today we learned the basic genetic terminology, we understood Mendel's experiments using pea plants, we also performed a monohybrid cross and understood these three laws of inheritance proposed by Gregor Johann Mendel. Now, all these principles laid the foundation of modern genetics and continue to be important in biology today. Thank you very much.